you're talking about just, I want to go be me and be like bold with how I'm going to be me. And have you faced that idea that to do that, it would mean that you'd need to be incredibly vulnerable, on the edge of falling apart 1,000 times into 1,000 pieces? Like, that's the part, that's where FOPO keeps us together, as opposed to being messy. Like, I'm going to make I'm back to this phrase, fundamental commitment to just whatever is coming up or happening, that I'm going to bring that forward. And that's hard to do. It's really hard to do, because why would we not do it? Because of what other people will think of us after it's done, or even sometimes they're in the, with us, like, critique us in that moment. And that's not safe. So the reason we have FOPO, you have it and I have it, is because our brain is hundreds of thousands of years old, 400 to 250, depending on kind of what math you look at. But that's a long time, and the brain hasn't changed all that much. So when the brain was really forming in a pretty aggressive way, safety, which is its job, is belonging. And you think about a pack of sheep, the sheep in the middle are much safer from the wolves. And so belonging, like in the eyes of others, was safety. So if I could just find out how to be safe in front of other people, I'll be okay. So don't fall apart now. Don't be the weak one. Don't be the one that points out where the problems are. Don't be an agitator too much, because you get pushed out. Truth is now, to your point, that there's people that the tribes are not as small as they once were. And you've got your tribe. You've got your community somewhere.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, there's so many. It is, and I realize it's so funny. What's happening in my life right now is everything is stripping away and showing me that everything that I've searched for externally for safety is kind of like crumbling.
Yeah.
And so it's forcing me to make that commitment and back myself. And I'm not talking like materially or anything like that. I'm talking like just seeking safety through other people's approval, or the perception of what I do or who I'm with, or any and all of it. Like, so many areas are crumbling right now, and I feel, and like, as something as simple as getting a puppy. Like, I was already at max capacity, and then my daughter's like, I want a puppy. My husband's like, yes. And then 2 months later, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I don't have time for a puppy. It's another life. It's like a child. It's keeping me up. Like, the universe, God, spirit, my higher self, whatever you want to call it, is creating the circumstance to just break me into submission so that I finally let go of control. And it's and
yeah.
And I'm so aware, thank God, because otherwise I'd be having a mental breakdown, that I can go, okay. And it's actually like giving me the space to kind of laugh and go, okay, I get it. Like, uncle, And it's just so cool when you can start to. So I guess like, what is your perception of life, perspective on life, that you feel is the most productive or healthy to have, the most empowering to have? Like, what is your...
Yeah, that's a cool question. I would probably go back to like, do the big work, purpose, and start there. And you're probably closer than you think. You've really put some time and energy in a very clear narrative and community that you're building. It probably just hasn't landed in the sentence or two, or the word or two. I would say like that's like the big rock to get in the container. And then the other stuff like that really does help is being around people that are really inspiring, that bring energy and clarity they have it for themselves. It's really infectious when we're connected to other people that see us and value being alive, vibrantly alive. So but you can't just go find them. You have to first be it,
Yeah.
And then when you are that on a regular basis, like there's this in sport, there's a phrase, game recognizes game. And it's like rap meets, the urban culture meets sport, game recognizes game. A master recognizes another master. Somebody who's vibrant in life recognizes somebody else who's vibrant. And then you end up kind of coalescing, with each other. So that's the second one, just like really invest in that brilliant light inside of you, and other people are attracted to that. Mm-hmm. And then how do you maintain the sense of vibrance? How do you sustain it? Recovery practices. And that's where sport has so much to offer us. Yes, it's concrete. Yes, it's like human-made rules at some point that are really kind of silly. We don't need sport other than entertainment. And I'm careful because this is the industry I've spent so much time. But like if there's a like the World War III happens, like we don't need sport. Mm-hmm. It's a great release valve. It is so much fun. And there's so much that we can learn from that laboratory. One of them is that, I'll go back to fundamental commitments. They make a fundamental commitment every day to be vulnerable. In front of their peers, in front of their coaches. They take risks in front of people that want to take their jobs in practice. I'm not talking about game day. I'm talking about practice, where it sounds like an Allen Iverson quote. Sorry, just narrative in my head. But they're courageously being vulnerable every day to try something that they're not very good at. Mm-hmm. That's how learning happens. So there's a fundamental commitment that they can teach us there. And the second one is the importance of recovery. So they work really hard, incredibly hard, physically and emotionally, on a day-to-day basis. And they have a full-time staff to help them recover. Now, maybe you can have a full-time staff to help you recover, but I think it's really important that we take that lesson and say, how do I recover properly so I can do it again tomorrow and again tomorrow? And I think my community is inspired and tired. I think they're both. Mm. And trying to figure out that tired piece, I think, is a real thing for most of us.
Ugh, I feel seen.
Inspired and tired?
I'm inspired and tired.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Heal with Kelly podcast. Be sure to tune in every Thursday for more empowering wisdom and inspiring healing stories. And make sure you hit the follow button on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss that one episode that holds the answer you've been searching for. Oh, and if you found this episode inspiring, please rate, review, and share Heal with Kelly so that we can grow our audience and reach more people. We truly appreciate it. Lots of love.